Yes, I made it. Ooh, yes, I made it. This is too deep, I don't believe that I kept on moving. I was pushed down, I thank God that I kept on staying.
Sanibonani Mzansi, and welcome to the Deep Show. Portia, Makume, and today we're talking about health, we're talking about ladies and taking care of themselves. We have the owner and the founder of Kwetsima Wellness, Miss Nombulelo. Hey ma'am.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. Who is Nombulelo? Where is she from and how was she raised?
Oh, Omuhle is a Kasi girl from Springs, Kwetsima. I was raised in an environment whereby I can make my own choices. Like I can just decide who I wanted to be and how I wanted to do things. And I've always went against the grain. So I never followed people and what they were doing. I just did my own thing.
Okay. How would you say that is important as mostly for girls? Because you find that at times you find that probably your father or whoever wants you to follow certain things, or your parents. And let's not just say about girls, it happens in most people. When you grow up, they always set you certain things, like this is what you're supposed to be doing. How would you say it's important for you to be raised in a family that they allow you to be who you are?
It's important in a way that it allows you to be independent, to be a free thinker, to do your own thing, and most of all, find your own path. Like I was raised in a sense whereby my mother didn't put me in a box to say, you have to be 1, 2, 3. She allowed me to just say, you know what, you will be what you want to be, and allow yourself to grow into the person that you want to be in the future. So it was very important for me.
Well, I saw that you have 2 qualifications and you're currently doing another one, but we'll get to the other one.
Okay.
The 2 that you did, what are they and what influenced you to do them?
Well, the first one I did emergency care technology with the Defense Force. So I joined the Defense Force in 2007, and it was part of the career path which I was chosen to do when I entered the organization. So I went and studied for 2 years emergency care technology, and it was mostly about the career path that I was taking with the Defense Force, the first one. And then with the second one, safety management, was more of a passion thing. I woke up one day bored, didn't know what I was doing with my life, and I was like, I need to study something. And then I came across safety, and I was like, okay, this seems like something I'd like to do. It's still helping people, but I'm not working with patients this time. I'm working with the general safety of people. So I went and studied with UNISA, and I graduated last year actually.
Would you say that it is important for one to go to school, considering the fact that nowadays we have this thing of saying that our education system is proclaimed, that we don't get a chance to be creative as an individual. You don't get to, for instance, you go to school, you study this, whatever that they studied previously, so you don't get to be who you are and really show yourself within the course that you study. Would you say that it's really important for one to have a qualification?
Yes, I actually think it is, because in a way, it helps you get discipline on how to plan. Like, when you're in school, you have to plan your assignments, plan for your exams, plan. Like, it helps you get into that
as well.
into that routine of planning things and how to think also. Yes, I know most people think going to school you don't really have to think. You study what they give you, but it actually does. When you are sitting in that exam room and they are asking you questions, you actually have to think about everything that you studied. You have to go back and think of it. So going to school is very important. I mean, if you're gonna be a hustler and do whatever on the side, if you have education, it becomes much better. Because once you have papers to show people and say, hey, I'm running this business and this is what I have, people take you seriously.
Yeah,
but
true.
if you come with your grade 11 and you say, hey, I'm running a business, they're like, just gonna waste our time.
Someone might be sitting at home and they would say that, you know what, I don't really have the opportunity of furthering my studies. I don't have the opportunity of doing certain things that would really lead me to going to get a qualification. Does that mean that as an individual I'm not going anywhere in life, or I'm not I wouldn't be recognized in a way. Does
No,
it mean that
doesn't.
way?
It doesn't. You know, people usually think success has to be, you have to start big. You don't. Being a cleaner, going to work at ShopRite, those little things actually lead you to become a better person, because you have to start somewhere. You go there, you work whilst you study, and you become somebody. Like, people just think like in such a small, I don't know how to put it, but they are not thinking outside of the box.
It actually reminds me of something that I saw recently, that it was a girl. She actually went to be a cleaner so that she can further her studies. And that actually told me that, you know what, you don't really have to say that I don't have a bursary, I don't have this, now I cannot go to school. Actually, you can still do something and still manage to achieve something of your own as well. So that's really good. Thank you for highlighting that as well. Really, thank you. Going to your last diploma that you're currently doing now, what is it and what influenced you into doing it?
I'm actually doing homeopathy and herbalism. Well, with that, since for me, starting the Kwetsima business, it was more of a passion one, because I was looking for a solution for myself. And then I came across herbs and natural ways of healing, and I ended up was like, okay, I'm fascinated. Let me try and do this for myself. And then I ended up doing it for my friends, and I was like, I can help more people. Let me do that. So now with doing that, I found out that most people are, the qualification part comes in. Now when you come and I'm trying to tell you and sell you a product that's going to help you, and you want to know what did I study, and so I was like, you know what, I will get the papers so that you can be more comfortable as a patient, as a client, to say, okay, I'm comfortable with her, she's qualified, even though the qualification does not really mean much when it comes to herbs and stuff. What matters is having the knowledge and the passion, and also using them to see how they work.
That's good. Talking of which, would you like to tell us what is Kwetsima and how did it come about?
As I previously mentioned, that it was more of a passion thing, where I used the herbs because I had some health problems that like a Western medication couldn't help with. So I ended up trying to look for more natural ways. So when I started Kwetsima, I was like, I'm going to do this holistically. So Kwetsima is basically a holistic wellness company that is focusing more on what we call self-love products to help women with their physical, emotional, and spiritual process and healing.
Okay, that's really good. We have a few products here, and earlier on some were quite interesting for me, I'm not gonna lie. I really interacted with you earlier on, and would you like to tell us a few about them? I think one of them is this one, the stones. Would you like to tell us different colors and what do they do, and how would one use them, and what would they benefit you with?
Okay, so the yoni eggs, we call them yoni eggs.
It's not stones, guys.
Yeah. A yoni egg is basically a kilo weight, which you use for vaginal exercising. Different stones have different properties. They are made of semi-precious gemstones, and as I said, they have different healing properties. So basically what you do is you put it up there in your yoni and do Kegel exercises. They tone, strengthen, and tighten the vaginal muscles. And also because they have healing properties, they help with eliminating toxic energy. They help you with more self-love. And some stones, like the one that I'm carrying right now, is the green aventurine. The green aventurine is a stone of luck, prosperity, and money. It's green.
Yeah.
After all. Yeah. Like different stones have different properties. We have rose quartz, which is for love, any kind of love, self-love, family love, any kind of love. And There's just a lot of them.
Someone would be like, so if I get to buy the stone, and I insert the stone, and I use the stone, will the stone give me money?
Remember, it's also about believing.
So I have to have faith.
You have to, like with everything that you do, you have to believe, even in your dreams. If you want to become something, you have to actually see it, believe it, you know, and then it will happen. So if you have the belief that you can use the stone and actually manifest, remember, it's all about setting your intentions and manifesting what you want. And then,
It'll happen.
yes, you ask, believe, and receive.
We will be talking about yoni more when we get into this. So, first of all, what is yoni? Because that's what I asked as well. I didn't know what it is, really.
Yoni stands for vagina, basically. So, Kwetsima Wellness Valley is for females mostly, for now. Let's not just make it for now. We are focusing on females and their reproductive health. Because you know, a lot of women have a lot of issues, especially when it comes to our lady parts. So that's what we're trying to get women to be comfortable with, even talking about it, talking about healing. Because most people don't want to talk about what's happening down there, the cramps, fibroids, cysts, period pains. Nobody really talks about that in depth to find out what's really the root cause of it. But yeah, with Kwetsima, we're trying to educate and set it up there to ladies and tell them, you know what, we can heal together as sisters.
When I saw this, I thought of other things. Hey, can you just tell us what it is? I'm not gonna lie, I thought of other things, truly speaking. But can you just tell us what it is and how is it gonna benefit one?
Yeah. So this is a menstrual cup. So menstrual cups are replacing tampons and pads. So it's made from medical grade silicone. It's eco-friendly and very cost efficient. So what happens is you just buy one cup and it can last you for up to 10 years, depending on how you take care of it. So one cup will cost you less than 300 Rand and you can use it for 10 years instead
every
of
month.
paying for
when I go to my periods, I can use this every day.
Same cup, yes. So basically what you do is, when you first buy it, you have to sterilize it by boiling, and then after that, when you're on your periods, you insert it like a tampon and make sure that you adjust and it sits well. If you insert it properly, it will cause a blockage, like it will completely seal the cervix. So the blood will collect inside the cup. And then when it's full, you can put that in for up to 12 hours. Yeah. And then when it's full, you just take it out, you empty it, you rinse and put it back in. And you can only sterilize after your periods again to prepare for your next period.
There are mothers who might be worried, as much as some are still worried about tampons and all that stuff. Probably they have a teen who's still a virgin and would like to use this. How safe is it?
Well, you see, virginity is a society constraint if you look at it. It's a hammer can be broken by a lot of things.
Yeah, true.
You could be riding a bike or jumping a fence or playing J and it will be broken. That is not the true definition of what virginity is. And as I said, I feel it's something that society created to withhold ladies mostly, you know. We are always oppressed, but that's a topic for another time. But yeah, it is totally safe. That is not like having sex or anything. It is something to help with their monthly cycle, and it will really help because then they don't have to worry about leaks and anything, especially if you teach them how to use it properly.
Okay, this is nice. And here we have a few other products as well. Quickly, can you just tell us about the other two?
Okay. I'll start with this because this is our star product.
Oh yeah.
This is our main product. These are yoni steam hams. So as I said, yoni stands for vagina. So the steam hams work in a way that you boil it, put it in a bowl, and then you sit over the steam and you let the oils from the herbs penetrate the vaginal canal. and it absorbs all that and cleans the vaginal canal. Steaming helps with period pains, fibroids, cysts, infertility. It removes old residual blood. It has a lot of properties and also helps with dryness for people with menopause. It's an amazing product.
Yeah, okay. For someone who's sitting at home and then they're asking themselves that this product looks very expensive and they look very unique as well, are they affordable?
They are very affordable. Well, with these, like the cup and the eggs, they are once in a lifetime buy. You buy them and you can use them like forever. Yeah, so they are cost efficient. And then the herbs, they are also very cost efficient because one packet like this is up to 10 steams, which can last you for up to 3 months. So you don't have to constantly be buying. Yeah, it's something that you can use.
Say I buy this, and then I want to use it. How often should I use it?
Well, it depends on what. Remember, I have to do a screening. There's a screening process whereby I have to ask you a series of questions on why you really need the products. If you need it for a specific, let's say for period pains, which most of my clients have a problem with. Period pains, you have to at least steam 2 days, as landilanai, before your periods and 2 days after your periods. So it depends on what problem you have. If you have an infection, there's also a way of doing it. If it's just for wellness in jail, because you just want to make sure that you are detoxed and clean and everything, there's also another way of doing it. So it depends on what the patient is presenting.
What message would you give out to young girls concerning their health? Specifically that, because you find that most girls, we really don't take care of ourselves that much. Most times we probably go to doctors when we have a problem now. How important it is that I can really take care of myself, even if I don't have period pains, even if I'm getting infected of somehow. How important it is.
Personal hygiene and taking care of yourself is very important, especially as women, because it's not nice being a woman and you're sitting around people and they are all smelling funny things. So as I always say even to my clients, that self-care is a form of self-love. So if you take care of your hygiene, take care of your health, making sure that when you see even the slightest thing that changed maybe in your body, if you see you have a pimple somewhere when you're not supposed to have a pimple, do something about it. Most girls, what they do is you keep quiet because you're ashamed that people will shame you for having certain problems. If you talk about it, that's why I'm saying that if women could just sit and talk about certain things, then we could heal. We could teach each other about certain things that society has made it so hard for us to talk about.
Earlier on, we're speaking about ladies and all that. What message would you give us to ladies as a whole?
Love yourself. Loving yourself, if you love yourself, nothing else can disturb you. The self-love is very, very important, because if you love yourself, then you would know that following your dreams, taking care of yourself, and just living life to the fullest is very important. Without having people talk behind you and telling you who you have to be. When you love yourself, no one can tell you who you want to be or have to be or who you are. You already know who you are. So I would say ladies need to love themselves more.
That's true. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Guys, as you've heard that you have to love yourself no matter what. You don't need someone else to come and tell you that. You have to tell yourself that I'm beautiful, I'm smart, and I can do it. From Portia, Makume, I'll see you guys again.